Republican Senator Katie Britt was chosen to give the Republican response to President Biden's State of the Union address, and it was the weirdest Republican response in recorded history, shredded not only by the internet in general and Democrats, but also her own Republican allies. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bell before you go. I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay, friends, I want you to brace yourselves for a maximum cringe coming from the Republican Party. And in its unenforced cringe, it need not have been this way. And we're going to start with a very short clip of Senator Britt, who is a freshman senator from Alabama, almost said Arizona, Alabama. She is the youngest Republican woman in at least the Senate, if not all of Congress. And this is how she sounds and presents herself in a 10-second clip as she's preparing to give her formal response. Please take note.
Hey y'all, Katie Britt here. I am looking forward to delivering the Republican response to the State of the Union. So tune in. See you.
That was normal. That was eminently normal, normal intonation and pitch and tone, very relatable and human. And then there was what she actually did in her formal response representing her party, her rebuttal to the President of the United States. This is how she sounded.
Mr. President, enough is enough. Innocent Americans are dying, and you only have yourself to blame. Fulfill your oath of office. Reverse your policies. End this crisis and stop the suffering. Mr.
That was a lot. That was like, that wasn't even a lot. That was all of it. That was extra. That was more than what was asked for. And the response is hilarious. So this is from Jared Moskowitz, who put this. To all Republicans who have to deliver State of the Union responses. Hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Moskowitz said, with your help, we can save another Republican from having to deliver a State of the Union response. And of course, they do it in the ACPA, style format. But there was more. There were other memes, including this Handmaid's Tale lampoon.
I never could have imagined what my story would entail. To think about what the American dream can do across just one generation, in just one lifetime.
Just overacting and absurd in the extreme. And what's funny was, again, I'll show you some of how MAGA and the Republican response was, because it's infamous at this point. But this is the Fox Propaganda Network trying to desperately salvage her credibility with respect to her delivery.
Last night, the Alabama senator joins us right now for a Fox and Friends exclusive. Senator, thanks so much for the quick turnaround. Appreciate it. Great job in your delivery, the structure of the speech, especially because you had to adjust at the last minute to what the president would say, along with the changing dynamics in the chamber. Your thoughts about his speech and the reflecting on yours?
Great job. Those are two words which absolutely do not apply to what Katie Britt did. So Midas Touch put together a great reaction. Jesse Kelly, not what I'd prefer out of the GOP response, but there's no question Katie Britt has mastered the ultimate weapon of dimes everywhere, the fake cry. That's a seasoned pro right there. Jack Posobiec said, did Katie Britt even mention Trump once? Andrew Torba, Katie Britt should have been tucking her kids into bed, not giving a melodramatic political speech. The GOP is desperately trying to pander to women voters with other women. Anyone who understands women knows this will never work. Women hate other women. what women want and are attracted to is a strong, masculine, authoritative man. Is there a single one of these men in the GOP? I decided to go back and watch all of Katie Britt's State of the Union response. I cannot believe it's real. It's the worst and most cringe political performance I've ever seen that wasn't a fictional portrayal. It's a parody come to life, albeit unintentional. I can't believe it, etc. and so forth. Laura Loomer, Charlie Kirk. I'm sure Katie Britt is a sweet mom in person, but the speech is not what we need. Joe Biden just declared war on the American right, and Katie Britt is talking like she's hosting a cooking show, whispering how Democrats don't get it, etc., 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 etc. Folks, this was brutal. It was brutal. It was atrocious. It was just completely. It was extra. I mean, it was extra in the worst possible way. People were comparing her to like a high school drama club student. So I don't know. To me, she should have just delivered a more authentic approach. Speaking and conveying like she does, it seems like everywhere else. People apparently who are familiar with Katie Britt's work were shocked at how hammy this was. And according to reporting in the Rolling Stone and elsewhere, Republican advisors, Republican strategists are telling to the press on the degree of, anonymity that this was a disaster. And it's nothing new. Republican State of the Union responses have been historically disastrous. There was that iconic moment where Marco Rubio, the Republican senator from Florida, where he began just right out the gate. He was stepping on rakes because the camera was live and he was, I guess, thirsty or something. So he reached over and grabbed a cup of water and quickly chugged it while the camera was rolling. And then it's an iconic moment. But yeah, in comparison to what the president himself did, this was a disaster, and it's emblematic of what the Republican Party is. No substance whatsoever, an attempt to deliver on performance, and then going way overboard in their zeal. Let me know what you think in the comments.